This thing rocks. Hey everyone, today we're checking out the Fold 7. So is the Fold 7 the first folding phone to go mainstream? So to talk about this, let's grab my old folding phone. So this is the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I got this at launch and I actually used it for a week and then I gave it to my mom. So there are a few reasons why I didn't end up using a folding phone. So phones in general have always been about compromise, and even more so for foldables. So you want a phone that looks like a regular slab phone that can open up into a mini tablet. And how are you going to do that without some compromises? And the Fold 7 this year seems like it almost has none. When open, the entire phone is only 4.2 millimeters thick. According to some unofficial sources, this is actually the thinnest foldable in the world right now. Now, when you fold it back up, it is 8.9 millimeters. It's thinner than the Pixel 9 Pro XL, for example. That's insane. So for comparison, the top here is the Pixel 9 Pro Fold and the bottom is the Fold 7. And it's hard to see in camera, but this is significantly thinner than the 9 Fold. So when this came out, when the 9 came out, it was considered quite thin. That's one of the reasons why I bought it. But holding this in your hand, it feels like a normal phone. So I said the phone feels like there's no compromises, but that's not true, obviously. There are some compromises due to this form factor. The major one is obviously the battery. So it's only 4,400 milliamp hours. The battery life on this thing is comparable. I would say it's better than what I had on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I don't know what they did. Maybe the chip is more efficient, the Snapdragon in here versus the Tensor G4, I think. And also, there's not much difference between using the cover screen versus the inner screen. So you might get half an hour, maybe an hour less screen on time with the main inside display versus the outside display. So whatever Samsung have done, the inside screen is actually quite efficient. So you don't really have to spend too much time thinking and picking between the outside screen and the inside screen if you want to save some battery. They're both fairly efficient. Since we're comparing the 9 Pro Fold and the Fold 7 at the moment, I need to talk about the inside screen. So while I was using the 9 Fold, I noticed that the inside screen is a lot grainier than the outside screen. So you can kind of see like the individual pixels a lot easier on this inside screen. Whereas on the Fold 7, as soon as I started using it, I noticed that the inner screen is much better than what was on the Fold 9 or the 9 Pro Fold here. Now this wouldn't be a folding phone video without some discussion about the crease. So this is the crease on the 9 Pro Fold. It was pretty prominent when it was new and it's probably about the same, maybe slightly more prominent now. But one thing I did notice, even when it was brand new, was that it made a creaking sound. So after a year now, let's hear what this sounds like. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up. It's almost like a crunching sound now. Whereas the Fold 7, which is obviously brand new, it's completely silent. The crease is less noticeable on the Fold 7. Of course, this is brand new, and we all know that the crease kind of gets more prominent over time. But this is much better than the 9 Pro Fold, even when it was brand new. So the other area of compromise that we normally get with folding phones is in the camera department. So the 9 Pro Fold had a pretty good camera, and this year Samsung have dropped their 200 megapixel sensor into the main camera, which is the one in the middle here. The other two cameras, the wide and the telephoto, are okay. I think the wide is pretty good. The telephoto is probably the area where it's lacking the most, but let's look at some photos here. Okay, so what I've found reviewing the photos is that the Pixel 9 Pro Fold can produce some very pleasing images with its main sensor. So when comparing the Fold 7 and the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, I feel like the main sensors are quite comparable, but the Fold 7 is more flexible. You can switch from the default 12 megapixels to 50 megapixels, or to its maximum resolution of 200 megapixels. So that's some flexibility that the Fold 7 has that the Pixel 9 Pro Fold doesn't quite have. The 9 Pro Fold does have a Pro mode, but all that it does is allow you to switch from JPEG to RAW, and there's no way to shoot at, say, a higher resolution. Once we start looking at the photos shot with the wide and the telephoto cameras, and we compare them with the 9 Pro Fold, you can quickly see that the Fold 7 is quite a bit better than the Pixel 9 Pro Fold for those two lenses in particular. Now, the telephoto, obviously the Fold 7 only has a 3x telephoto, so it doesn't zoom as far. But if you look at the overall image quality, I do think that the Fold 7 is better for the telephoto, despite not being able to zoom as far in. So let's talk about the video recording capabilities of the Fold 7 for a second. So we have video recording up to 8K at 30 frames per second. Not that I would ever use that, but the more impressive thing is that you can record in log. So this is something that I think I would use. I would be able to shoot my vlog, for example, edit it on the big screen, and then upload it straight from the device. Let's take a quick look at some of the videos shot on the Fold 7. I'll throw some comparisons in between the 7 and the 9 Pro here, and then let's see how it did. So after viewing the videos, I can tell you almost immediately that the Fold 7 shoots better videos, hands down. Not only does it transition between the different lenses more smoothly, the overall video quality is just better for all three lenses. So you can look at the details in the leaves, the details in the glass in the building there. You can tell straight away that the Fold 7 just has cleaner lines and more defined edges between the different objects in the image here. So the Fold 7 can go even further, right? It can do log video. So here's a clip that is shot in log. So we apply the color correction to it. So again, similar findings here. The footage from the Fold 7 is quite a bit better than the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, especially in the leaves. The 9 Pro Fold, the leaves are all a mushy mess, while the Fold 7, you can still see individual leaves in the shot there. So when it comes to video, there really is no contest. The Fold 7 shoots better videos, hands down. So let's go back to talking about compromises. One of the main compromises that folding phones have was the weight. This thing is heavy. Samsung have solved this. So this thing is now lighter than most slab phones. So certainly lighter than my Pixel 9 Pro. And I think that's actually the main reason why I think this is finally going to be the mainstream foldable phone. It's light enough. When you put this in your pocket, your pants are almost falling off. This one feels like a standard phone in your pocket. You wouldn't even think twice. You wouldn't even know that you have a mini tablet sitting there waiting for you to go. So far, I've just been saying that the Fold 7 is better than the 9 Pro Fold in every way. However, if you're in Australia, there is one area where the 9 Pro Fold is better than the 7. And it's that it's got millimeter wave 5G, whereas the Fold 7, at least in Australia, does not. It has regular 5G. Other countries may have millimeter wave 5G on their variants of the Fold 7. Another area where the Pixel is actually better than the Fold 7 is in the haptics. So I don't know what Google did, but the haptics on the 9 Pro Fold is very crisp and very direct. Whereas the Fold 7, it's not bad, but it's slightly worse than the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. It feels like it's got less weight to it, whereas the Pixel has like a oomfier feel to it. The face unlock is also better on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. I don't know what Google did, but it's still using a regular camera, but it is classified as a class 3 biometric, while the Samsung is not. So what does that mean? It means that on the Pixel, you can use face unlock to unlock the phone and then pay with Google Wallet. Whereas on the Fold 7, it doesn't actually work. So if you had unlocked the phone with your face, you still have to use your fingerprint when you go to pay, which is kind of annoying. Now, normally I don't care about the speakers on the phones, but because these are, semi-tablets, they kind of matter. So the Fold 7 speakers is quite a bit better than the Pixel 9 Pro Folds. I don't know if because of the, Dolby Atmos tuning or the way that you can tweak the equalizer, but the sound coming from the Fold 7 sounds fuller and it's got a bit more bass than the 9 Pro Fold. So, do I think that I am finally going to switch over to a folding phone full-time? So for the 9 Pro Fold, it was too heavy, the battery life wasn't that great, the performance was not ideal, especially for gaming. It's been over a week now, and I am still using the Fold 7. And I'm using the phone more than I would have if it was a regular slab phone. Gaming on the inner screen is amazing. If you play TFT, Hearthstone, any of those games, even Pokemon Unite runs great on the inside screen, and the performance is stellar. I think it might be still too early to say whether I'm sticking with this phone, but at the moment, after about a week and a bit, I do feel like this might be it. Anyway, I hope this was useful, and thanks for watching. I just need to add that the case situation on these foldables is not ideal. So look at this thin case I have, and look at the edges around the front. It's just a dust magnet. All that dust is eventually going to find its way under the case, and if there's a piece of sand in there, it's going to scratch the body. In this current day where everyone's on their phone all the time, having a phone that makes you use it more is a terrible idea. The Flip 7 is a phone that makes you use it less. I think the Flip 7 is the phone that most people should get. In case you were interested in how to run 2 instances of Pokemon Go, you basically install it once from the Play Store and then you install it again from the Galaxy Store. That's it.